Entertainment Soldier here, and I'm back to talk about Star Wars, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, Episode 5, and my thoughts on this episode. Um, Boring, predictable, and pretty much makes lightsabers useless. There was nothing exciting in this episode. The writing is just terrible. The CGI looks like something back in 2005, and characters... I don't care anymore. Like, I really don't. Kenobi's just there, isn't he? He's not doing much. He's just there to try to get the Star Wars fans back, and it's not working, thank God, because you're seeing the ratings go down, you're seeing the score go down. This show is pretty much at the point of Last Jedi, where they are trying their best to defend this waste of time, and the fact that it's made so many mistakes, they just can't handle it. So, yeah, this episode was bad, and a lot of people are going to say this episode was fantastic because it had a couple of shootout scenes and it had a lightsaber duel. By the way, the shootout scenes were ridiculous, and the lightsaber duel, yeah, it was obvious what was going to happen. Like, it was obvious what was going to happen. And when I say that, it's not a good thing if I can obviously tell what's going to happen. God, and the episode felt so short for being nearly 40 minutes long. That's, again, like, Disney, could you just keep it to like an hour? Again, an hour. Instead of just making like 30 minutes, nearly 40 minutes, or 28 minutes. Again, this has been a problem for Star Wars shows now for what, 3 years? This stupid time they do, like 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Like, could you just keep it to an hour? Like, it's literally your fucking show. You can literally do this, Disney. But yeah, again, it's just a bad episode, and just again, it makes lightsabers used to be something amazing in Star Wars. There used to be these fantastic weapons that you could do anything that if you had a lightsaber, you were fucking good. Now you can get stabbed by a lightsaber in the gut and live from it. You've made lightsabers pointless. Disney has destroyed this weapon that used to be one of the best weapons in sci-fi history. And now it's just a pointless stick that somebody swings around. There's just no point to it anymore. And I just feel so fucking bad for... God damn it. It's just like, if you're an actual Star Wars fan, you're just seeing this. Because I'm done with the whole, running out to get Star Wars products or running out to go see a Star Wars film. And I find it so amazingly funny that Disney are going to put this show in the cinemas in certain places, because Disney wouldn't dare put this show out in, worldwide release, because they know how bad it will do. But I can't wait to see how that goes, because I know it's going to fail, and I know it's just funny to see it. Anyway, I'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, my score for this episode, it has to be a 3 out of 10. Again, the only scenes that were any good were ones with Hayden Christensen. His scenes were great. If the show had been focused on him, if they had done a Vader series, maybe they could have got something. But yeah, this show's terrible, and I'm happy it's failing. So I want to go into spoilers now. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, leave in 3, 2, 1. So the episode starts off with Vader heading off to, following the tracking device to find Obi-Wan at Jakku or something, whatever the planet's called. And the third sister arrives on Vader's flagship, and Vader gives her the Grand Inquisitor job. She thanks Vader, and then Vader goes back to staring at a fucking window, where we get a flashback scene with Hayden Christensen and Kenobi. sorry, Anakin and Kenobi. Why am I using his name? Anakin and Kenobi. Now, if the show had been focused like, if they had done this throughout the show, shown Obi-Wan and Anakin back in the prequels, back in the Clone Wars, you could have done so much with this show if you had used that. You could have done Clone Wars episodes and done them in real life ones. Like, for God's sake, live action versions of the Clone Wars episodes? Are you kidding me? They would have been amazing. This show could have skyrocketed. You have that ability, Disney. You had a show focused on Obi-Wan, where he could have just remembered all of those episodes, and you could have just done that. That probably would have made this show an instant hit. Seeing Anakin and Obi-Wan live action Clone Wars with Ahsoka, like, you'd printing money at that point, Disney. But Disney decided to go on this ridiculous fucking story to concentrate on Leia. And that's what this show has done. It has concentrated on the wrong character. Again, Leia's a great character. I like the kid. I wish they'd do a show about her. I think it would be an interesting show. But this was the wrong time to do it. The Kenobi show should not have been focused on Leia. It should have been focused on Luke. And it's mainly one of the reasons it's a disaster, especially when you watch like A New Hope and it just doesn't make sense that Leia doesn't know who the fuck Obi-Wan is. Anyway, back to the fucking episode. So we see the scene between Anakin and Obi-Wan. They're training with each other, doing a lightsaber duel training, which I liked. Again, it's a good scene between them. Love seeing Hayden Christensen back. He is a good actor. He just needs better directing. That's always been the problem with him. He doesn't get good directors. So back, but after the flashback, we go to the Jakku planet or whatever the fuck it's called, where Obi-Wan lands with all the rescued people, and Obi-Wan goes to talk to Ice Cube's son. And he tells him that getting ready to get the people out of here and ready to blast them off somewhere safe. But Obi-Wan needs to get Leia back to Alderaan to see her dad. But Ice Cube's son says, nope, can't do that. We need to get everybody out here first before we can save her. And the Empire's on their way and we need to get out of here fast. Obi-Wan then goes over to a corner where he finds a bunch of lightsabers and Jedi robes. So again, there are more Jedi survivors. Like, again, you called it Order 66. I mean, again, the amount of Jedi that have survived that, it's gotten so ridiculous. And I mentioned that in my last review. Like, it's gotten so ridiculous. It's dumb at this point. The amount of Jedi that have survived. Having 2 Jedi survive, that makes sense. 5, 6, fine. You're kind of going a bit too far, but I can overlook that. We're literally now at 30 Jedi. Like 30 fucking Jedi survived the Purge, and it's just so fucking ridiculous. It just makes Order 66 lesser when you just see how many Jedi survived it. And then you literally have the originals being about the last Jedi, which is Luke having to destroy the Empire, or to defeat the Emperor. And it's just like, well, why is Luke doing it on his own when there's about 30 fucking Jedi that have survived and they're just hiding out somewhere? Like, where was Ahsoka? Where was? Again, they should never have done this. They should have killed, wiped out the Jedi, and Luke should have been the only one left. Like they did in the fucking originals. Like they did in the EU. I don't like calling it the fucking EU. Anyway, so Obi-Wan finds all this Jedi crap and sees some writing on the wall. But we then see Leia's robot start to signal to Vader, and it goes off to, cause havoc. Star Destroyer makes it into orbit. The spy robot turns on the door and then shuts the door, closing everybody inside the base. this rebel base that the Empire have now been looking for. And Vader then says, start the attack on the base. Now, when I heard him say start the attack, I thought he'll do the smart thing and order an orbital bombardment. You know what Star Destroyers are known for? But what does he do? He sends down 2 transports with a couple of stormtroopers. What are you doing? You've locked them in a fucking base. They're not going anywhere. You've got Obi-Wan there. Kill him. Just kill him. Now, the way they could have fixed this and, done the whole, well, we can't do an orbital bombardment would be if Vader said, well, the Senator's daughter's down there and we can't kill her. That or an Imperial officer saying that. We can't kill the Senator's daughter. Oh, Jesus, man. But they don't. And it makes no sense why they don't order an orbital bombardment. It doesn't make sense. So Vader sends down 2 shuttles full of stormtroopers. They land on the fucking planet. Then the Inquisitor, the third sister, gets down there. Being the fact she's the new head of the Inquisitors. She then orders the stormtroopers to blow open the door. Oh no, before that happened, before she gets there, Obi-Wan tells everybody to get ready for the attack. They are outnumbered, they're outgunned, but they have the fact that they're small and that they have the base is secure. So they lock down the base, they close all the doors, secure every exit, and pretty much are going to funnel the stormtroopers through choke points. That's Obi-Wan's plan. Pretty much, make the numbers work against the Empire. Which I think would have made more sense if it actually worked out that way, but it didn't. Anyway, so whilst they shut the door, the Inquisitors, the third Inquisitor gets down to the planet, orders the stormtroopers to blow open the door, and this takes like 20 minutes. And I'm just like, you have the Force, blow open the door yourself. You have a lightsaber, cut it open yourself. Like, why is it taking so long to do this? This is dumb. You have this ability to... Again, it's just to make time. Oh, the stormtrooper's going to do something. Let's just have them fire this massive pointless gun at a door, which takes too long, by the way, for a door that's not that thick. Ugh, Jesus. So, Obi-Wan knows that the door's not going to hold out for long, and they need more time to get more people away. We then get another scene from a flashback scene with Anakin and Obi-Wan, training. And this is where you pretty much learn that Anakin is more focused on attack and Obi-Wan is more focused on defense. So, again, I like these scenes, but yeah, I like the scenes. Back with the base, Obi-Wan notices that the fake Jedi guy is back and he's there to help, and so they can't open the doors, but the fake Jedi guy says, why not go into the system and check the computers inside these small caverns. He says he's too big to get in there. I mean, Ice Cube's son says he's too big to get into the system. So Leia volunteers to do it. Now, I think this is dumb. I think, listen, she's a kid. How would she know how to fix this computer? It's way too... I mean, you have to fucking be stupid to think that's right. And they couldn't have done a better storyline there. Like, you could have had, like, some other person, a woman. I mean, again, having a 10-year-old kid do it, it's just dumb. But anyway, Leia goes down and tries to fix the doors to open them up so they can escape. Obi-Wan tries to bide more time for the escape, so he offers to parley with the third Inquisitor. So they meet up at the door, where Obi-Wan pretty much figures out she used to be a youngling, and it turns out that she is not really on the side of the Empire. She's actually against them. That she did all of this work because we see a flashback of the little black girl who turned out to be her. Who the fuck would have guessed that? and the fact she saw Anakin kill younglings, and now she has dedicated her life to try to kill Vader. You have had opportunity after opportunity to kill Vader. Like, come the fuck on. And now you're gonna try to do it? You were literally on a Star Destroyer with Vader, on his own, with a couple of fucking Imperial officers around you. That probably would have been the time to take him. Not in the middle of a mission, which they try again. Like, we all knew this was going to happen. We all knew she was never going to be the big bad. She was always going to turn out to be on the good guy side. I thought they were going to kill her, but yeah, they're not doing that now. And who cares? But yeah, it turns out she's working. She wants to kill Vader, and that's why she joined the Inquisitors. That's why she, wanted to capture Obi-Wan to get Vader's trust. And then she activates her lightsaber and cuts open the door in about 2 seconds. And I'm just like, why didn't you do that in the first place? Then we didn't need to waste all this time, did we? So she opens the door, the stormtroopers start firing into the room, the rebels start firing back, there's a shootout between them, and the stormtroopers don't find cover, they don't throw any flashbangs or bombs, no, they just walk into the fire. You keep making the Empire look incompetent. When they win, I mean, when the rebels win against the Empire, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't feel like, I mean, again, when you watch the attack on the Death Star, you know it's that hard for them to defeat the Empire. That this is massive, them winning and destroying the Death Star, and you could feel it. But the new Disney stuff, when the rebels win, it doesn't feel earned. It just feels like, of course they won. The Empire is just that stupid. When you make the Empire this incompetent, it's not fun watching the Empire get defeated, because the rebels didn't really earn it, because they win all the time. And so it just makes the Empire a weaker enemy, and just like a waste of time watching it. So in the fight, the Imperial officer chick who's been helping Obi-Wan gets shot, and so does the robot that's been working with them. And so she sacrifices herself by blowing herself up and killing a bunch of stormtroopers, and is able to shut the door before Obi-Wan can get captured. And she buys more time for Leia to open the doors so that they can escape. Then Vader arrives, and he then goes after... Oh no, he doesn't. No, sorry. I forgot the... Obi-Wan decides to give more time to the rebels. He's going to surrender to the third Inquisitor, the third sister. And that's going to buy more time for some reason. When he does surrender to the stormtroopers, they bring him to the third sister, and pretty much Obi-Wan says, listen, I'm doing this so I can give you time to have a fight with Vader. This will bring Vader to you, and you can defeat Vader, and we can defeat the Empire here and now. Which was a dumb plan, but there you go. And then what does the third sister do? She then tells the stormtroopers to take Obi-Wan to a room to wait for Vader. And as soon as they do that, Obi-Wan manages to escape, kills both stormtroopers, and runs back to the rebel ship. Fucking hell. I mean, why did none of the Purge troopers there say to her, no, keep Obi-Wan here where we can keep an eye on him and wait for Vader? Nobody decided to do that. No, they just let him go. Fuck it. Anyway, so Lord Vader arrives. Oh, I just found this out, by the way. It's not James L. Jones doing the voice to him. Apparently it's a different person. So, again, I think it makes sense. I mean, James L. Jones would cost a lot of money to get him to do every episode. And the Vader voice, I think it's fine. So I've got no problem with it. Anyway, Vader arrives, walks through, opens all the fucking doors. He then tries to get to the landing bay fast, because Leia manages to open the doors and gets back to the ship. They all jump on board, and the ship tries to fly away. Vader then grabs it, he pulls it down, and this CGI, by the way, looks terrible. I mean, it looks absolutely terrible. And then we get a flashback to Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting again, and there's another scene which was terrible CGI when Obi-Wan grabs Anakin's lightsaber from his hand, and again CGI looks very bad. Vader pulls the ship down, rips it open, turns out it's a decoy ship, and the other ship manages to run away and escape. Don't know how it's going to escape though, because there's a Star Destroyer in orbit and they can literally catch up to small ships. So, fuck it. But the third sister then chooses this time to attack Vader, because this is the perfect time to do it. And it turns out Vader's known all along who she was, and he was using her to find Kenobi. I mean, she's pretty much been terrible at it, hasn't she? It's just, we get this lightsaber fight, and it's supposed to be this like crazy amazing thing because Vader does dual wielding. And I'm just going to say this, no, it wasn't that amazing. We all knew it was going to happen. She was going to be defeated by Lord Vader, but we all knew she was not going to die. We all knew that, because Vader stabs her in the chest or the stomach with a lightsaber, and we all know that's now worthless because it doesn't kill you. Because who shows up next to Vader? Oh, the Grand Inquisitor. Remember when he was stabbed by a fucking lightsaber in the fucking stomach? Well, it turns out you can just survive these attacks now. You can just survive them. You can get stabbed by a lightsaber and just survive. And why? And it turns out because the Grand Inquisitor survived, he told Vader what happened, and Vader figured out what she was, and that destroyed her entire plan. And Vader then just leaves her to bleed out, or whatever, or just to die, and the Grand Inquisitor says, you can go back to the shithole we found you from, basically, and walks off with Vader. And the last scene is just literally the third sister crawling to grab her lightsaber, and yeah, and that's how the episode. Oh no, the episode doesn't end there. I forgot to mention. Organa contacts Obi-Wan, tells him that he's worried that Vader might have found out about the children. He's gone to Tatooine to find Luke and to help Owen and to get him somewhere safe because he thinks Obi-Wan's failed. I mean, doesn't that create like a problem? Like, isn't that the exact reason why you shouldn't have had Obi-Wan leave at all? Like, Vader wouldn't be even involved in any of this if Obi-Wan wasn't involved. Like, he would have just left this alone and left this to the Inquisitors. So getting Obi-Wan involved was the dumbest decision you've made, Organa. So the last episode is definitely going to be on fucking Tatooine. Again. Oh, Jesus, the leaks are going to come true, aren't they? Christ. So the episode ends with Ice Cube's son telling Obi-Wan that the hyperdrive is broken and they can only go at sublight speed. So the Star Destroyer is definitely going to catch up to them. And the third sister on the ground pretending to die, because she's not going to die. She's going to live. And come back in the final episode in that fucking scene. Oh, that fucking scene. I know what's going to happen, and it's so bad. And the fact Luke is going to see a lightsaber. Oh, it breaks so much canon. And that's the end of the episode. Terrible episode. 3 out of 10. The only redeeming scenes were the ones with Hayden Christensen and Anna and Obi-Wan training. Again, that's what the show should have been about. If it had been about that, this show might have been a success. But thank God that it is getting downvoted. Thank God that Disney is panicking, because this show deserves everything it gets. It's a piece of shit show. I'm just done. And that's the end of my review. If you like this review, give it a like. If you dislike the review, give it a dislike. And if you like my content, do think about subscribing. Entertainment World Soldier. Bye.